Hi guys, I'm a Forester here, and today I want to take a look at my latest flashlight. This is made by OneTac. It's the TC1200. That model number is right there on the flashlight. This was a Christmas gift from my wife, and I've been using it for the past 2 months, mainly on my evening walks. Now, I appreciate the gift, but to be honest, my main concern initially was whether this flashlight was a scam, a ripoff, or maybe just a bad deal. Now, I've actually seen this flashlight on one or two other people's EDC videos, so please remember that my sample size is very small, just this one flashlight, so it may not be representative. I think my wife saw an ad for the flashlight online and she clicked on it. She paid somewhere around $55 to $60. It came very late after Christmas in this box right here. And the first thing that I noticed when I got it was that the contents were coming out of the bottom of the box. I thought maybe it had been returned by a previous customer and possibly repackaged. Inside the box was the flashlight, this bare bones nylon sheath, and a little bit of literature. I went online to check out any videos or online information about the flashlight. I was excited to find out more about it, especially since its output was supposed to be almost 3 times the output of my other tactical flashlight, the Maelstrom X7. This one puts out 480 lumens, and I've had this for several years, very pleased with it. When I went online, I was a little confused in that I found multiple flashlights that resembled this flashlight, but they had a variety of brand names and model numbers. Most of them had this 1200 lumen rating, and they looked to be identical except for the brand names. All of them were made in China. The other thing I noticed was that the price of these clone flashlights were all over the board. I think they ranged from $15 to up over $100. Now, a high-quality flashlight like this 4.7's Maelstrom X7 can easily go for the upper end of that range, so $60 or so might be reasonable for the TC1200. But if identical flashlights are going for $15, well, what's up with that? It all comes down to performance. So I'm going to go outside and compare these two flashlights. If this really puts out 1200 lumen, and it's a quality flashlight, well then it's worth $60. Let me put some fresh batteries in each of these flashlights and let's go outside and compare the output of the X7 to the TC1200. Okay, here we go. I'm 66 feet or one chain away from the shed in my backyard. This is the 4.7's Maelstrom X7, 480 lumens. It lights it up very well from one chain away. Now I'm going to replace it with the OneTac TC1200. This is supposedly 1200 lumens. Let me make sure I'm on the high setting. I'll go through the modes. Okay, that is definitely the high setting. Supposedly 1200 lumens, and now here's the 4.7's. You be the judge of that. Okay, I'll go through the modes. This is the high mode. This is medium mode. And this is the low mode. Then you also have a strobe and the SOS. And then back to the high. And then one feature it does have is that you can zoom in and zoom out. And that's zoomed in as far as it can possibly go. That is a nice feature that I like. Welcome back inside, guys. It was getting a little cool out there. Well, based on those results, I don't see how this company can possibly rate this flashlight's output at 1200 lumen. And that's a big deal because that's the main marketing ploy for the flashlight. 1200 lumen is almost 3 times the output of the Maelstrom X7. And I don't think you saw those kind of results in the test we just ran. Now, the other thing that I've noticed about this flashlight that I don't like is the sensitivity of this tail switch. I showed you the 5 modes. It was a high, medium, and low setting, plus a strobe and an SOS. You go from one mode to the next by lightly touching this orange button. And let me demonstrate. I don't know what mode we're in now, but we'll find out. Okay, that was high, medium, low. Okay, there's strobe and SOS, and back to high. The problem is that switch is just way too sensitive. In fact, it switches from mode to mode without even touching the tail switch sometimes. As I walk in the evening, I've grown accustomed to it switching occasionally. I can be walking along in medium mode, and before I know it, I think just from jostling as I walk, it'll go to strobe and then SOS. It's an annoyance, but it doesn't happen enough for me to send it back. Now, one feature that I really do like is this zoom feature, and there's an illustration on the end of the flashlight that supposedly explains it. I don't know that I fully understand it, but there's a magnifying glass on the end of the flashlight that allows you to narrow the flood of the beam to just the area that you want to focus on. So when I'm walking in the evening, I can focus the beam just on the sidewalk, and I think it creates a brighter light on that area. I haven't seen that feature on any other light. Now, overall, this seems to be a solidly built flashlight. It has serrated edges for self-defense. I don't think I've mentioned that yet. It's also able to take 2 different types of batteries, which is a plus. And as I've mentioned, it comes with this modest nylon sheath that fastens onto your belt. Nothing fancy, but it works. So let me ask you, is this flashlight a scam, a ripoff, a bad deal, or I'll throw in another alternative? Is it a great flashlight? It's your call. I'd appreciate you commenting below and let me know what you think. Y'all take care.